Okay, Pythagoras. We should all know that Pythagoras was a wonderful Greek mathematician. It all relates to right-angled triangles. Now, what it's basically suggesting is that in any right-angled triangle, whatever length I've got on my two shorter sides, if I multiply the length of that side by itself, I'm squaring that side basically. So if I had 5 centimeters going down, I'll have 5 centimeters that way, 5 centimeters that way, and 5 centimeters that way. I'll do the same on that side. Whatever length I've got there, square it. If I then add these two sums together, it'll create a nice square on the longest side in a right angled triangle, which is called the hypotenuse. And they do fit in it beautifully, like it shows. Let's put some calculations into it. Okay, let's assign some algebra to it, and that's just basically giving a letter to each side. The C we're going to say is a hypotenuse, and it's saying C squared, one length times itself, and we've got A squared, A times A, and we're using B times B. So we've got C squared and A squared, and we've got B squared. And what Pythagoras is saying, that the area on the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the areas on the other two smaller sides. So if we square A, square B, add them together, square root the result, it can give us the length of that side there. Always remember, if you're looking for the hypotenuse, we need to be looking at C squared equals A squared plus B squared, where C is the length of the hypotenuse. It really doesn't matter what letters are involved in any question you're given. If you just imagine ABC, an ABC triangle, because they'll put X's, they'll put Y's, and in this one here, even now, I've got X because I'm looking for the unknown X, but I've got a length of A, I've got a length of B, so to substitute that information in, I'm going to be squaring 3, squaring 4, so X squared equals 3 squared, which would go here, plus 4 squared, which would go there. The result of that, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16. Add those together, and we've nearly done. Nearly done. As the fella said, always square root it. So basically, square the value of A, square the value of B, add them together, and square root your result. So the square root of 25 is 5, so the length from there to there, your hypotenuse, is 5. Have a go at this one on your own. Okay. C squared equals A squared plus B squared. Even though that is X, that's an unknown side. Substitute your values in. I know the hypotenuse is the longest side in a right angle triangle. So we're talking about the value of X squared is 6 squared plus 9 squared. Add those together and then square root. And that should be your answer. Have a go at some of these. Press pause. Notice on some of these it's a different orientation, but again, facing or opposite to the right angle is the longest side in a right angle triangle, and opposite, it's there, facing it again, opposite. Okay, now looking at one of the shorter sides, trying to find one of the shorter sides in a right angled triangle. Well, we already know if we square the value of A and square the value of B, square root it, when you've added it together, it'll give me the value of C, which is that longest side. Well, let's look at manipulating this little formula. And no matter which one we're looking for, we can use this very same formula each time. So just substitute your values in you've got. 15 squared equals x squared plus 9 squared. And by manipulating the algebra, bring the 9 over. So I'm basically saying, if I square 15 and square 9, if I actually subtract it, it'll give me the value of x squared. And then I need to square root it again. So a quick summary. If I'm looking for one of the shorter sides, doesn't matter whether it's that side or this side, if I square 15, square 9, so it's 15 squared, take away 9 squared, square root the result, it can give me the value of x. Have a go at these on your own. Again, we're looking for one of the shorter sides. Square 15, square 8, subtract them, and square root it. So it's 15 squared, take away 8 squared, subtract it, and that's the value of x once you've square rooted it. 12 squared, take away 7 squared, square root it, and that's my value of x. 24 squared, take away 8 squared, square root it, that's the value of x.